Setting up your mask to begin sewing, first you want to take both pieces so the half moons are facing and overlap the half moon pieces. And this is where the surgical mask comes in. You want to overlap the pieces so that the mask gives you, when laid on it, there's about a 1/4 inch seam allowance on either side. Once you have your mask laid out, then going from the overlapping edge to overlapping edge across the top, you're going to want to, with a 1/4 inch seam allowance, actually fold it down, and only where the overlap happens, from overlap to overlap, sew across the top. And definitely, because teenagers backstitch to lock, with this jersey material, you don't want to pull too hard because it'll stretch and pucker. So just let your feed dogs do their job. And then repeat on the bottom. And by folding it over, that gives us a very clean seam edge on the top and the bottom of the mask, so we won't have to do an additional hem. So we're just cutting out some time here. So again, flip it over, roll that bottom about, you can use up to about a 1/4 inch, and then you're just going to go folded seam edge or overlapping seam edge to overlapping seam edge. Table is bouncing. I'm getting crazy. All right. Once we have the basic structure made, the name of the game is shrinking it down size-wise so that there's no gaping at the cheek. The original pattern called for 3 pleats, but I actually found that 2 pleats worked well. So what I decided was to take the top and bottom sewn mask. You can see where one of the half moon shapes is. The other one's on the wrong side of the fabric. Going right side of the fabric up, you can pleat basically about halfway into the half moon, and then another pleat, and all we're really trying to do is, again, mimic the size, width-wise, of the surgical mask. And it will just help with some of the gaping at the side. And pin it if necessary. One thing I found that makes it a lot easier is that when I sewed the pleat, I actually want to sew the pleated edge a little farther in than you normally would, and I'll explain why in just a moment after I've done it. So I am actually giving it almost an inch seam allowance for the pleated side. Now the reason I did such a wide seam allowance for the pleated side is because we're going to roll the pleats. When we attach the elastic, all you do is roll that edge over and apply the elastic to it. And again, that will give you a clean edge but keep the pleats on the front. So let me finish the pleats on the other side. I know if some of you aren't big sewers, if I'm using words that you don't know, again, what all the point of the pleats are, they actually don't even show that well once the mask is finished, but we're just reducing the size of the mask so that it fits, again, it fits more the same model of a pleated mask so that it just doesn't take up the whole student's face when they are wearing it.